Bronny James is on the Los Angeles Lakers. Shocker to no one. I was really looking forward to the Celtics maybe trolling the Lakers and picking Bronny James as a way of like, hey, you want him? What do you want to give up for Bronny James? Now, I know Rich Paul, his agent, came out and said anybody that drafts Bronny James, he's going to be sent to Australia outside the Lakers, which I thought was annoying because another one of those power moves, and it gets old after a while. Of course, Bronny James is only here because of the name, LeBron James, and I want to give him a lot of credit for that. If you're in that position, you want to take advantage of that opportunity. But now, let's just look at this from a basketball perspective, and we'll talk about the Lakers in a moment. So, just from a basketball perspective, Bronny James is 6'1". He had the cardiac situation last year. He didn't play a lot with USC. He was actually showing a lot of growth before the health situation at the All-American game. And, he had some potential. He'll probably be good on the defensive side of the ball. He's got a long wingspan. He's at 6'1". He's got a 40-inch vertical. So I think if Bronny James can be solid on the defensive side of the ball, he can stay in the league. If he can shoot about 38% to 40% from the three-point line, that will keep him in the league longer. But these are some big ifs because he's a late second round pick for a reason. There's a lot of reasons why teams pass on him. Let's be honest. If LeBron James is not in the Lakers and not in the league, he's probably not getting drafted, coming right out of his first year in college. He's probably a 4-year prospect. He's playing maybe for a mid-major team or, in this case, staying at USC for a long period of time and then comes in the league at 21, 22 years old. Nothing wrong with that. No shame. But now could be a disaster at the same time because you're bringing in a head coach who has no experience in coaching the NBA. And we've seen a lot of examples where it didn't work out. We saw the Steve Nash experiment. We saw Derek Fisher. I mean, there's, I think Del Negro was another name. Vinny Del Negro. Like, these guys didn't turn out really well because they had no coaching experience. We've seen other coaches do well. Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson. So there is opportunities, and I don't want to forget about Tyronn Lue. So there's opportunities for maybe JJ Redick turning out really well. I think it's going to be a complete disaster. And the reason why I say that because I think the Lakers need to go into a full rebuild mode because look at the Western Conference. They're not beating the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm sorry. They're not beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not beating the Dallas Mavericks. And they're probably not beating the Memphis Grizzlies next year because Memphis is going to be back. The Lakers, they might sneak into the playing game again. I mean, you're obviously not better than Denver. I can go on and on and on. Anthony Davis had a great regular season. He was finally healthy. Will he do that again? I don't like the law of averages on that. The Lakers are LeBron is going to be 40. So this is more like a PR stunt to me where you get the Lakers to be talked about. Shout out to Lakers. Hey, do what you got to do to get your name in the conversations. But at the end of the day, Bronny James as a Laker, it's cool to have that father-son, relationship where LeBron, to me, is the second best player ever. And you got Bronny James, his son, playing with him to finish his career. I think that's a cool thing. So hopefully we get to see some highlights between the two, and we'll see if that happens because it's just going to be difficult to see Bronny James getting some minutes. But, hey, you never know. Obviously, he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. And, it's just another one of those LeBron James being the GM and just getting what he wants. And, hey, you do what you got to do. But I think this is going to end really badly. I hope Bronny James can find a role in the league because I don't want to, see someone fail. I think it's immature. I think what will help Bronny James is if it doesn't work out with the Lakers, maybe go to the G League for just a little bit, refine some things, work on your game, and then come back to a team where you can contribute and have a role. He's got to be in the right system. That's going to matter a lot. Now, he's young, so it's going to take time to find his identity. And, with a team that's looking to win, it's going to be hard for him to get minutes, especially with all the depth that the Lakers have with Austin Reeves, D'Lo, Christie. So I don't see that really panning out too well. But, maybe LeBron will, shrug JJ and say, hey, you know what? Let's put me and my son in. I could see him, playing garbage minutes and LeBron's throwing the game. They get a chance to play together. That's what I see happening in this scenario. Maybe LeBron will prove us wrong, but I don't know. It's just going to take him time to adapt to the speed of the game. Obviously having your dad as your teacher, that's a great advantage. But it's going to be interesting to see how JJ Redick coaches this team and how he disciplines Bronny and how LeBron feels about that. That's going to be funny. Or if LeBron and Bronny have an argument, oh man, the media will go nuts over that. But yeah, Bronny James, we'll see how he pans out. Again, the Lakers need some stability here. We got to be honest and stop living in this fantasy world of, oh, they're going to get this superstar. The salary cap is changing, and the Lakers need to start adapting to that. I would rather see them move on from LeBron and Anthony Davis and just rebuild from the ground up. They had a great roster after they won the bubble. Alex Caruso, you got rid of him. You had Kyle Kuzma. You moved on from him. You had Rajon Rondo. He wasn't going to stay too long, but you had Dwight Howard at the time too. And I think he came back, but then he left the Lakers. I think he left and then came back. So for me, the Lakers go when they decide to build a really good roster and not focus on getting 3 stars. They won a championship, and they turned around. Didn't work out really well because of the injuries to Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Injuries do happen. And they turn around and get Westbrook, which I thought was stupid because you had a good roster. You just had the injury, fall on LeBron and AD. It didn't work out. That does happen. But I think if they ran it back with that roster, this team might be in a different place right now. We'll see how it all turns out. Bronny James is officially on the Lakers. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine what we're going to hear from ESPN and all the big sports stations constantly talking about the Lakers day in, day out. We'll probably hear Shannon Sharpe talk about, the Lakers, they got Bronny James. Things are different. JJ Redick, this is a contender now. And I'll be looking at them going, have you not watched the Lakers in the past 3 years? It's been a dumpster fire. They can't keep a coach. And I feel bad for also JJ Redick because he's in a situation now where he's got some allegations I heard about. And, the Lakers haven't been good at keeping a coach and being patient with him and let him develop. This could end really badly for the Lakers, and the rebuild will be really nasty. And it might not end very well. And then you have to wait longer to contend again. We'll see how that all pans out. I just think ever since Kobe's, been gone, they just haven't had the same level of dominance. I know they had the championship in 2020, but it just doesn't seem the same for the Lakers right now. Something just seems off. I think the owner, Jeannie Buss, is a big problem with that because when you have one championship since 2010, it's not the standard for the Lakers. So, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, shout out to Bronny. Wish him the best. We'll see if he pans out and does well. Again, if he can just – in the NBA, you got to do at least 1 or 2 things really well. If he can play good defense, he'll have a role. And if he can have a offensive game where he can shoot 38% from 3, he's got a chance to carve out a role in the NBA. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. What are your thoughts on Bronny James joining the Lakers? Are you surprised? I know some of you, probably a lot of you aren't surprised. Also love to hear your thoughts on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.